Here's your Kevin.
Hey, guys, it's Amber.
And Kristen.
And welcome to the live today. We are going to continue on with mental health since that is what we've been talking about the last little bit. Our last
we're crazy,
live
so-
was mental health, and then we had just Tuesday on the regular podcast, Rachel Blanford with Lemonade Mental Health Services. She came on and talked. She is a what she is a therapist or psychiatrist?
A therapist.
Okay. So what
Oh, sorry.
exactly is the difference? And I guess that's probably a question I should have asked her.
A therapist cannot prescribe medication.
They just talk to you.
Yes.
A psychiatrist.
Psycho is me.
Psycho is who we're talking about.
I don't know. My mic's getting ready to die. Sorry, y'all.
Oh.
It literally went from 3 to 1.
We just changed the batteries on them.
Yeah.
So anyways, if you
ghosties.
tuned in to the podcast Tuesday with Rachel, she did give us some good insights and some good advice that we just want to kind of touch on and keep talking about, and hopefully finish it out strong with next Tuesday's podcast as well. So one of the questions that I had asked her was, what can you do to help your mental health state? And one of the things that she said was exercise. Like, exercise was a really good thing
Absolutely.
to do for mental state. So I've looked it up, and here are some more things. The way that you eat, your eating habits, if you eat healthy, regular meals, and you stay hydrated, drink plenty of water, proper sleep habits, make sleep priority. I think she said that too. I think she said that sleep was very important.
Oh, yeah.
And I know, I can tell when, if I don't get my sleep, it's bad.
Oh.
I have to, you never sleep though. You're like a freaking vampire. I have to have 7-8 hours every night, or I'm not like functionable.
I got like 3 hours.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you wouldn't even be, I would not even be here right now on 3 hours of sleep. I'd be like, no, screw y'all, I'm out.
Yeah, I watched the sun come up this morning. No, Caleb was, he was on one last night, so I went to go get in the bed at a decent time, and I go in my bedroom and it's flooded. Go in my laundry room to grab towels, big red all over my washing and dryer machine, all kinds of shit. I was like, okay.
What was flooded in your bathroom?
He's figured out how to use my fridge water. So he loves the fridge water, and he'll go fill cups up. Well, he said the cat wanted water, so he was pouring water out for just right in the floor. I was like,
you little turd monkey.
So he flooded my bedroom.
Relaxing activities. Try.
So you know how you'll talk about going outside and like in your bare feet.
Mm-hmm. Grounding. That's called.
Yes.
Which I never knew that was even like
a thing.
Yeah. Well, I just like going outside barefoot.
A lot of people don't realize the sun really does help with your mood. But I think that, that's the kind of stuff that's so important because, like with me, what is relaxing? Because some people would say sitting in front of the TV, watching a movie and eating popcorn, not having to worry about nothing. Mm-hmm. And for me, relaxing would be sweeping them up on my floor.
See, 10 years ago, me was probably sitting in front of the TV, eating popcorn and relaxing. Like that was relaxing. Now, the noises get to me so bad that I can watch the Golden Girls. They don't bother me. I found that show that doesn't bother me.
I love Lucy.
I love Lucy too, but I haven't turned it on yet. I don't know if I can brave it to.
I think you could tolerate I Love Lucy because it's funny.
There's a couple of other ones that I can watch, and I'm okay with watching. But for the most part, the noise of the TV gets under my skin.
Well, and see, I'm like, okay, so my neighbors probably think I'm like a literal psycho because like you can hear everything in my house. So, and my voice carries. So even when I'm like just raising my voice, it sounds like I'm screaming because it echoes in my house. And so like it's a new build, so I have nothing on the walls, and my ceilings are super high.
Mm-hmm.
So he was being bad yesterday, and I raised my voice at him, but I had my windows open, and I heard it echo in my living room, and I was like, they probably think I'm in here like hurting him because
crazy.
like pretty much. But he was eating Fruit Loops, and he would put one in his mouth, and then he'd put another one in his mouth, and he did. I was like,
the noises of it.
why are you not like? And it's some kind of disorder. I'll have to look it up, but it's it's oh shit, what's it called?
Like where noises bother you.
Mm-hmm.
You were talking about the grounding. I think that is the best. I don't know what it is about just going out barefooted. Now, some people like to go out even when it's cold and just walk around barefooted when it's cold. Now, I can't do that.
I can't because
I'm not
of
a cold person.
It where I've had back surgery and stuff, the nerves in my back, my feet and my hands, like right now, my hands are ice cold. I used to love going outside barefoot. Now,
see,
I
always
can't because
did
my
when
feet
I was
stay
a
so
kid.
cold.
I used to run down our driveway barefooted.
Misophonia.
To where you don't like chewing.
Well, it's sounds trigger you.
I used to run up and down my driveway as a kid growing up barefooted.
Me too.
Loved
all
it.
the time.
Loved it. But I can't hardly walk on gravel anymore barefooted. It's too sensitive. My feet are too sensitive.
See,
but the grass, I love just like when I go out to my garden and just walk around barefooted.
But you know what? I can walk through gravel, no problem, with no shoes on. That don't bother me. But if I'm walking through like grass and there's like a sharp rock or something that I don't expect, that's when my feet will hurt walking. So I can have no problem walking in gravel. But it's just
I can't walk in the gravel.
It's just I can run in gravel. Which people always my mother-in-law, she always said she didn't understand how my kids could do it. And then she's seen me do it. Well, she seen me do it one day and she was like, how?
As a kid, I was fine with doing it. Now I just can't.
You know why we were okay with it as kids? Because we were always barefoot.
Well, yeah, I was well, not always. I can remember when my mom, because I loved being barefooted, but I could not go outside barefooted. My mom would always tell me, unless I saw the butterflies flying or the bees flying, that's the times that I could start running around barefooted.
Is there a dog toy in there?
Probably some kind of squeaky toy. But also journaling.
Yes, I do that now.
I love to journal.
Ooh, I need to get you this book that I just found that I got.
Very, very relaxing.
It's like 300 questions that you answer about yourself. And like you read like a small portion and then it has a question on how you see yourself. I need to send that to you because I've been doing that every night. And yeah.
I think that, and I think stuff like that is really good, especially if you are true about it. And you have to be true. And let's be honest. That's something that probably is one of the biggest things with mental health and why people suffer so much, because they don't want to be true to what's really going on with them. You know, they don't, just like, and not even somebody that maybe doesn't have a mental health disorder or a mental health issue or whatever the case may be. Most people don't like the criticism of their own, criticizing themselves, even hearing it from somebody else or seeing it somewhere else.
Oh, Alicia's at the vet with her fur baby, but she'll be watching us tonight.
Thank
you. If you decide you want to put in an earbud and chime in, you go for it.
But those are,
and
red light therapy. I just started red light therapy.
That's supposed to be really good for your skin too.
Yeah.
But so like you don't really suffer. So I have chronic depression and, anxiety and stuff that I deal with daily. You will get seasonal to where you're kind of, and then you're like, well, I'm menopausal and now I'm moody. And it's like, I've lived this way my whole life. So I think as I've gotten older,
It's going to do it again. I don't think it will. Mine, I think you have mine that used to do that, and I honestly think it's going to be fine.
I hope so, because that's the
Mine
second
carried
time.
me out, so
But anyways,
see, mine's doing the same thing. We've apparently got some energy draining sources in the room with us
excuse me.
today.
If y'all want to talk about mental health with us, Mr. Spirits, you come on down, but quit killing my microphone. But anyways, it's like with you and I, like, yeah, it was an I told you so moment, but it was also a learning experience for you because you're hearing from me, somebody that has the mental illness, and it's like you never know with somebody like me, if you take it with a grain of salt or if you take it in
something
depth.
serious. Yeah.
Yes. And that comes off, that's my fault because I can be so sporadic. But that's why I was explaining to you, like, lowering my medications, then raising them when I need it, because that way my body doesn't ever get the full dosage of them. Unless
and that's what we talked to Rachel about too, about your body getting used to that dosage of the medications and you having to change them anyway or up them or whatever.
Well, and
because your body does get used to that.
But how she was saying, there's a problem with mental health, like, as far as like, it's a problem I've run into, and she said it's really common, but the personable and the, like, actually listening to you and not just listening for 5 seconds just to put you on some pills. That's hard to find. So that's why I was also like stronghold on, I'm keeping mine because if it wasn't for her.
Well, and we talked about the system. I think the system is so broken when it comes to that kind of stuff because, well, for one, and we touched on that too. There's so many. What did she called it? A personality kind of disorder versus mental health disorder. So it's not really something that can be treated per se because
you have to learn how to live with it.
That's just basically your personality. That's just who you are. But then there's the actual mental. So I guess, I don't know. Like, in my opinion, I feel like insurances have way too much control over what they pay for.
What they want to pay for.
Yeah. I think if your doctor, and not that, because I'm not 100% always for the doctor either, but I think that if you're going to a doctor for a specific thing and your doctor says, yes, you need this is the treatment that we're doing, then that the insurance shouldn't say, no, your doctor's wrong, we're not going to do this, let's try something else.
Well, and if, something is tried that does not work, there does not need to be a 30-minute or 30-day wait to the next appointment. If you get put on a new medication.
So wait, now does that come from the doctor or does that come from the insurance?
I'm saying I don't know. I'm saying as the person has to take some medication. I don't know who stops that.
Oh,
but I just know that that's a very common thing to put you on a 30-day for your next appointment. Well, I understand some medications don't kick in for 30 days. However, if I've taken something for 2 weeks and I can feel my mood go down or I can feel myself getting angry super easily, that's not the medication I need. And instead, they'll expect you to take it that full 30 days.
Oh, wait. So here's something that I just realized, I just found out about too, because vapes and gummies and those sorts of things that have, and I always say the initials wrong. It's the weed stuff, the weed
THC.
Okay. So there is the indigo, and then there's the
indigo.
What is it called?
Indica.
Yeah. Indica. Yeah. Okay. Indica.
How do you know different THC? Indica. And then sativa is the one that, like,
yes. So I found out.
I swear we're not hotheads.
Clearly, I said indigo.
I know, and I corrected you. Gosh, indigo's a color.
But
it's
purple.
That song.
But anyway, if you're on certain medications, and you do the vape or the gummies or whatever, then that can counteract. And I never knew that. I never knew that was a thing.
Like,
Oh yes, yes, 100%.
who?
Yes, my brother-in-law went through
But was it
it.
a CBD? Like, it was, because THC is not like, it's not mind altering like other drugs.
But
As far as,
but apparently, if it is mixing with your medications, it can do that. Because at one time,
I know I get tired easier than most.
I I don't know what it was. It was a gummy, maybe that, or I don't know. Anyway, it mixed with his medications, and he had told my sister, he was like, "You need to go inside and just get away from me and let me get this out of
Was
my
he seeing
system."
colors? Or, I mean, hearing colors?
No, he was just highly pissed for no reason
But see, that don't
whatsoever.
make sense though, because that would be something like pain medication or something like that would do. Because I don't think I've ever seen somebody high and mad.
I'm telling you right now,
There's a reason I'm
there's
called a one-hit wonder, okay?
there is whatever, and I
tells you how
don't
much
know the
I did it.
medications, of course.
That's
'Cause,
what I'm wondering.
I'm not a medication person.
Well, that's just why I'm wondering, because that is one of the safer things, and that's why they're legalizing it more.
I would much rather somebody be on something like that than
Oh gosh,
prescription medications.
here goes shithead.
Indigo credit card.
Hey, I have that credit card. Okay, I didn't even think about that, and it is a purple card.
Oh, because the color purple.
Yeah.
Well, it's not indigo. Clearly, it's not indigo. Indica.
Indica.
Couch. Indica. Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't say gouch.
Couch. Right.
Couch. Well, yeah, because well, and funny story. So I mean, I don't think anything's wrong with smoking weed at all. I used to be highly against it. Now I'm like, no, because I can rely on it. Because I had dropped so much weight there for a long time that I had no appetite, I couldn't eat, and that's how I got healthier again.
Well, you know,
because
a lot of cancer patients smoke weed
and
for that reason.
Yeah, and I was dealing with like bleeding ulcers and everything else, and that's the only way I could eat. And I will never forget somebody trying to teach me how to use like a vape pen, because I don't smoke, I don't do anything, and I was just like, okay.
Chrissy showed she had FaceTimed me when they were on their cruise, and her and Travis had a vape that they
Which,
had
congratulations to Travis and Chrissy, by the way.
They got engaged on their cruise. But they had a vape, and she was talking to me, and Travis was trying to drink out, like he was turning it up like he was trying to drink out of it. She was like, no, that's not how you do it. Anyway, off subject. But relaxing, we were talking about relaxing, finding healthy activities that relax you, whether that be journaling, nature, cleaning,
gardening.
Gardening, whatever relaxes you.
Oh, well,
but I do highly suggest the grounding effect, and I don't even like calling it that. Like, just go outside barefooted. Well, that's probably the best thing.
Sorry, I have hair stuck in my sunglasses. I was going somewhere with what I was going to say, but what might be relaxing to you isn't relaxing to everybody. Because I think sometimes people think relaxing means like not doing anything.
Yeah.
But like so if I'm super stressed out or my anxiety is really high one day, I will push Mo, or you need that pilled.
I will feel it.
We have Caleb, you all. But anyways, he's the new sheriff in town. Did you see his sticker?
I've seen it.
But anyways, like a lot of people, they're like, they'll say things about me cleaning or mowing or whatever, and I was like, I enjoy that.
Like, yeah, I mean, it's whatever you enjoy, whatever is relaxing to you.
Well, and I think it's an escape too, because not only are you out in the sun, but to me, that the motor of the mower drowns everything out. And I will push mow over ride mow any day. I don't care how much property it is.
So another way is to set goals and priorities. Now,
Uh-oh.
that's something that I have lying in bed watching football is relaxing. That is how my husband relaxes.
At least you ain't talking about shit.
Well, that's what I told him the other day. But he loves to, that's his way of relaxing now. Laying in bed and watching sports.
Jimmy Heller relaxes?
Mm-hmm.
Nuh-uh.
Setting goals and priorities. Now, this is something, here, Caleb,
But
that
make
I
your
have.
goal achievable.
Yeah.
Because if you make unrealistic goals, then you feel like a failure.
But
And that does not help you.
prioritizing is something that I have a hard time with. Because I think I prioritize.
What do you say?
Thank you. You're welcome. I think I prioritize, but sometimes I don't.
Well, and so I can get up and have plenty of time to get ready. But so when I get up is when I take my medication. If I'm trying to get ready, my medicine takes about an hour and a half to like actually set in. Mm-hmm. I'm not getting ready that whole hour and a half.
Well, I do a lot of scrolling. Caleb, you want to come wave at everybody?
I'll turn on my
You want to come wave at them? You can.
Y'all are gonna get the cutest little blonde hair, blue eyed wave ever.
Come here. Come here. Here, you can sit my lap.
Say what? Hi.
Come here.
What in the world is he eating?
An orange. He's got an orange.
No, he has something else in his mouth. He hasn't put an orange in his mouth yet.
Oh.
I got poop.
See, that's why we're talking.
You definitely don't prioritize.
I'm not a good prioritizer. No.
See, I'm fairly good at it.
Sometimes it depends. Sometimes I can prioritize really, really, really well. Other times, not so much. Other times, I don't. I'm just kind of lost in thought. Focusing now, because that was just another thing that was on here. Focus on positivity. Focusing on anything right now is extremely hard for me to do.
You know something I think that would help you, though? Take the 100 journals you have and notebooks and downsize to like 2. Get you a vanilla folder, add you some damn paper to it, and put all the things you've already filled out in the folder.
So I don't.
And that way you have,
all in one spot.
Yes. I'm telling you what, I ain't never laughed so hard. We were looking for.
I'm the most organized, unorganized person.
And see, so you're a clutter bug, and I'm a declutter bug. Like, I always have to declutter. And it's funny because I'll sit here and I'm like, we had up here cleaned up, and now it's cluttered up again. And I'm just like, ah.
Yeah, I'm used to.
I rub off on her, though.
And the chaos.
Well, you know how they say, though, that like opposites attract. That is where you and I, that's how we're opposite.
Well, and that with me and Jimmy, because he's very OCD with stuff. Mm-hmm. And he hates clutter. He does not like clutter, but also he's okay with the fact that I'm a clutter bug. Mm-hmm. Like that, as long as there's certain things that are kept straight.
Jimmy
with
likes
him,
to hang on to everything.
He does. He's a pack rat. And I thought I was a pack rat.
Aubrey, I will never forget this because I have OCD. And Aubrey, the first time I noticed it with her, she was taking her toys. I have a video of it somewhere. I'll have to show it. It's hilarious. She's like in diapers little. She's lining her toys. I had a glass TV stand that arched all around the TV stand. And her dad walked in and goes, "Did you see that?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Watch." He moved 2 of them. Like, she was out of the room. Mm-hmm. He moved 2 of them. She came back in to watch TV and seen them and moved them back.
Mm-hmm. That's how Jimmy does.
Shoes had to be lined up.
He has a nightstand table beside of his bed. And so when he wants Pop at night, I will set the
Hey, Jimmy said love you, little buddy.
Oh. Like, say, "Hi, Uncle Jimmy." Wave at him. Blow him kisses. Say, "Mwah! Mwah!"
And then he said, "Both y'all need
to focus on positivity.
We got this." And then Tommy said, "Trisha doesn't keep anything. Luckily, she's held on to me. LOL." And I'm sorry I wasn't there on Sunday. I did not feel good. I was in the bed all day.
But he will set, if I move stuff, because his pops have to be like 1, 1, 1, 1. Mm-hmm. Well, in my mind, if I just go and set it in that vicinity, then that's okay.
Not to him.
It's not. And he notices it right away. Like it has to be lined up 1-1-1-1. It can't just be like in a bunch. So that is what staying connected.
Check your messages.
Reach out to the family and friends. Reach out to family
That's
and
what she said.
friends. I don't have any messages from Trish.
She ain't got no messages. It's Thursday, y'all.
The one that's caving in.
The one that's caving in?
Yeah.
Tommy, I know,
Oh,
no
you
worries,
have
but I
games.
felt so bad for not being there because I had every intention of going, and
You
then
want to play games?
Saturday I started feeling like garbage, and I stayed in bed like most Saturday than Saturday night, and then Sunday I like stayed in bed all day. If Aubrey wouldn't have been there, I don't know what I would have done with him because I had no energy. I just felt like crap.
Well, and that's something else,
That's why I can't say I'm sick because it could be depression, but
Right.
I just did not feel good.
And so one of the things, and even Rachel talked about it, is yes, it is good to have those friends that you can talk to and have have there to support you or whatever. But in certain cases, in a lot of cases, I would probably say it's better to talk to a professional
Oh, absolutely.
than a friend.
And see, and that's the thing, and because I completely and 1000% agree. The only reason I say to make sure that you reach out to someone, it doesn't have to be a professional. It's just because it's so hard to get in. Because I'm telling you, and to find somebody you like click with, like that's also hard because
well, and I feel like there is very few and far between therapists these days. Like,
well, either that or they
because you keep pushing out of it.
only want to do telehealth. And I'm not good with Zoom meetings at all.
Well, and I blame a lot of the stuff now with that on COVID. Like, you will never convince me that COVID did not make things worse.
Oh no,
in the mental health with the mental health field.
This says
Field and
well, and think
and
about it
everything
too,
else.
because your socialization became the internet. You weren't allowed to have big family gatherings or anything.
I know. Well, and here's
My
what
gosh,
I
my
don't.
pawpaw almost had to die alone, and finally the nurse was like, "If y'all aren't going to let that family go in, you might want to call the law because they're coming in."
Well, see, and I don't understand
Let
like,
all these old people
why
die alone.
the
That made me
internet
so
during that time was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that's when TikTok got really big, things like that started happening. I've talked to plenty of people. I can't help you with that. You need someone qualified than me.
Nah.
But
It's me. You never know.
I think, when TikTok came about, it helped people. It helped people. You saw
That's why I like to have fun on TikTok.
You saw the funny videos, the funny dances, the whatever, it was there. But now, fast forwarded to where we're at now with it, people are so mean. They're malicious.
Yep.
They're just mean and malicious. And
well, and it doesn't matter.
Now these creators that started off just as regular, you and me, average people, that started this just to have fun, now are making a career out of it. And now you have people attacking them for this.
Well, and there's something I've seen that's so common in comments right now, is if you say you're praying for someone, somebody will say, something about your sky daddy or your imaginary something or whatever, but they'll say things about you praying for somebody that went through something. You don't have to believe in it, but why do you have to be so hateful?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's full of
it's constant,
malicious.
You can be the most positive person, and somebody's going to come at you. And the more positive you are, the more you're going to get attacked.
The more negative starts hitting you.
So I wanted to look this up because I wanted to make sure I wasn't wrong with you. But the main difference between a therapist and a psychologist lies in their educational qualifications and scope of practice. Therapists often have a master's degree and focus on providing counseling and therapy services, while psychologists typically hold doctoral degrees and may engage in research, diagnosis, and development of treatment plans.
So I think
I wanted to get that out there for you.
So that she was going back to what the difference is between a
But
therapist and a psychiatrist.
Also, a psychiatrist, I told you what a psychologist is. A psychiatrist, so a therapist is a licensed counselor or psychologist who works with patients to treat their mental health symptoms and improve how they manage stress in relationships. A psychiatrist is a medical doctor who can prescribe medication to treat mental health disorders.
Okay.
Sorry,
So
there was a lot to that.
we found out too, like with Rachel, that there are a lot of disorders that kind of borderline other disorders or mimic other disorders. Like it's just very important that if you are suffering, that you don't keep suffering alone. You don't keep suffering in silence. Like get out there, find somebody. We've put Rachel's information up out there. We have put T's information up there numerous times with
Tommy.
I've got Fava with T Freeman. Tommy House, he is not a licensed therapist or psychologist.
He is a preacher.
He is a preacher, but he's a listening ear if you need him.
Hurt people.
Right, but that's something, and this is something that I tried to, when I was talking to Rachel, I would love to dissect the brain.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to be able to find out, like, what is in your mind that thinks it's okay
to destroy people,
to talk to people like that. Like,
Yep.
What, your life cannot be that miserable to where,
Pigger Doug.
Talking about lining stuff up, he's got a whole line of piggies up over here. But I mean, especially for a stranger. Like, this is people you do not know. You do not know these people from anybody else.
Yeah.
So what makes
Auntie Amber is all that matters.
What makes it okay? He's all about me right now because he's got games on my phone. What makes it okay?
Nothing.
For you to just belittle and just badger and
because people suck.
I just don't. I would love to dissect.
Have you ever wondered why so many people attack people?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't get it.
It's not even like the belittling. It's just if you disagree with somebody, like going against their opinion or how they believe or whatever.
Like politics, religion, like all of the above.
It's gotten out of hand, but
you can't just simply disagree.
Well, I always say I'm a bully's bully. I never go out of my way to hurt anybody. Like, I don't think anybody could ever tell a story where I just went out of my way to make something up or say something on somebody. Because I've always been like, even when I'm at my lowest, I always try to bring others up. And you will never see me comment being a bitch or hateful to somebody, especially when they're going through something. But even
people that aren't going through it though, like they're just
morals and respect.
And people don't have that anymore. They don't. And I think that is what's made.
Have you ever wondered where the morals have gone?
Mental health.
I had somebody
worse.
I had somebody that could not believe my 3-year-old would say please, thank you, and is like more well-mannered than most teenagers. I was like, because I raise him. Like, you gotta raise them.
Not even kids. Like, not even like this size kids. Some adults, like our age.
Yeah.
I mean, am I always the nicest to people? No, I'm not. And I'm the first to admit it. Sometimes it's because I just don't like you. Sometimes it's because I'm in a mood and I can't help it.
Jimmy said it's called practice what you preach.
Exactly. You've got to.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes I'm just in a mood and I can't help it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the first to admit that. But I was also raised that you say please, you say thank you, you say
you hold the door.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Even at my age, I still say ma'am, sir, thank you, whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm. I do too.
My elders, I will get up out of a chair
to give them my chair
for them to sit down.
Yep.
And that stuff is gone not only in the youth, But in people my age, I'm like, I don't understand what time warp we stepped into that makes all this okay.
Well,
like, I will never be okay with that.
So the other day I was walking into a store. When I walked in, I had held the door for somebody when I went in.
Mm-hmm.
When I was leaving, somebody went out in front of me. I don't remember if it was a man or a woman. Went out in front of me and let the door go. Like, as I'm getting ready to step out. Like, thankfully, I had my arm up to catch the door.
No. We're not buying nothing.
I was about to say, if you got your credit card on there, he's going to.
That's why I'm watching to make sure.
But the door would have popped me right in my face. And to me, it's like Jimmy said, practice what you preach. But the problem is that I feel like I have become more jaded, I guess, towards everything.
Yeah.
Because I'm not as.
Well, and I think, though, that and it is hard for me to do that, too, as well. When somebody treats you a certain way, misery loves company. When somebody treats you a certain way, I think it's automatically entitled these days. Yes, they do. It's like it's expected.
Yeah. The world owes them something. Everybody owes them something. That is extremely bad. And I think that is worse in the youth. But even in my age, like, I'm 36, I've noticed the generation after me is where it starts to fall apart. And I'm not saying everybody in that generation, but my generation is where the disconnect is happening. So millennials you're either the old school millennial or a new school millennial, because there's two different types of millennials.
Well, see, but I watched another podcast, Bunny XO, the Dumb Blonde podcast, and she had I think she was a psychiatrist of some sort, but she specialized in, like, the brain and relationships and, like, just things like that. And I think I even mentioned that in our last podcast, and because she got hurt in a relationship.
Yeah.
And so she wanted to understand why. Like, why did you do the things that you did to me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, when she came into this, she was dissecting the different, what's it called? You just was talking about it. Like millennials and
generations.
Yeah, so she was talking about the generations, and she says, that even like the Gen X, and because I'm Gen X,
mm-hmm.
and she said, it amazes me that you sit down and the first thing they say is, "Oh, I had a great childhood.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing wrong with my childhood." But then when I start talking to them, then I realize that it was this, and this was happening.
Trauma.
They were less.
And you don't realize you carry it.
Right. They, certain things. But I can't agree with that. Because, like, for me, I did have a good childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Did my parents stay with me 24/7? No. Like, I mean, that was probably why my childhood was so great. It's because they said, go out and play.
Mm-hmm.
I knew where my boundaries were. I knew where I could go.
You either came in and checked to see if you needed to come in, or you were allowed to stay.
Yeah, and I don't like the fact that they say, well, you're the forgotten generation. They had to put a newscast out at 10 o'clock saying, do you know where your kids are at? And I remember that going on TV. I remember when that came on TV at night. But I can't 100% agree with that.
Say, kill people with kindness and don't let people change who you are and who you want to be. See, I'm not the kill you with kindness kind. I will kill you with silence, because I know my boundaries. I do not look good in orange.
Or death looks, or
my face will tell you to stay away.
No,
but no, as far as so I was raised like a Gen Xer, so I consider myself like the old school millennial, even though I'm closer to the Gen Z, like as far as age.
Right.
I relate more to Gen X because I was raised old school. I was raised, you came in with the street lights. You didn't come in. You had the water hose.
Right.
You did not
You didn't run
involve.
in and out of the house.
Mm-mm.
You didn't do stuff like that.
You didn't get involved in adult conversations. You stayed as a child.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And I think that that's a lot of the issues these days with the younger generation is because
They wanna be
somewhere
treated
along the
equal.
line, they were included in so much adult conversation
mhm.
and so much adult activity and so much adult content
Yes.
that they should not ever have been exposed to.
Well, and like so, Aubrey, she's extremely mature, and a part of her being so mature is
No.
she has been involved in a lot of conversations and things. Not necessarily that she shouldn't have been
Play
in,
this one.
but she was also spoke to like an adult, never a child, because she never acted like a child. I could not get that child to play. I honestly can't think of anything that she enjoyed playing or
I think
doing.
he's laying on my mic. I don't know.
Nobody said they can't hear you.
Okay.
Um,
Well, push those buttons.
but
There you go.
there's certain kids though. This really frustrates me if I'm hanging out with somebody or whatever. A kid that'll sit there on their phone or involve themselves.
That's we're playing on the phone right
Yeah,
now.
but or involve themselves in an adult conversation, like cut off the adults to talk.
Right.
No.
To give their opinion, to give how they feel on the
hush.
situation. Yes.
Yeah, and I've never understood parents that allow their child to stand there. Like sometimes I do, but it's because I don't notice they're standing there. I'm in the conversation.
Right.
And anybody that knows me knows if I try to pay attention to too many different things, I'm not going to remember what the hell I'm doing. But the generation, like Aubrey's generation, the way the schools have changed.
Yes.
I
schools
think
have
that
changed.
has hurt children's mental health because you are not allowed to defend yourself.
You're not.
And I'm sorry, but I said something because, you know, Braylon beat up a bully. And I never understood. This kid jumped on him on the school bus and Braylon beat the crap out of the kid. How did my son get in more trouble than the kid that jumped on him physically?
Well, and you know, when I was growing up, it was
You got 3 days suspension if you put your hands on somebody first. That's how it was with my school.
right. But you had to start it. You had to be
That's
the
what I'm saying.
instigator.
If you put your hands on that
if you
person.
were just involved in it, you didn't get in trouble.
Yep.
If you were defending yourself,
But
you didn't
know
get in
what,
trouble.
too, though, when we were growing up, well, at least when I was in school, more people were honest. I won't say kids were honest; they'd lie, but
No, we're not putting a song on.
but where the teachers could ask, okay, what's going on, and talk to all parties involved, then they could figure something out. But like, if you don't allow kids to defend themselves, they become adults that don't defend themselves.
Or become sneakily at it.
Yeah, and I just don't.
But you've got to be able to teach the kids the difference between right and wrong, and I think that many adults don't have that.
I just cannot stay. I couldn't sit there. This is why I could not be in education. I cannot sit there and tell a child, just let that person beat you up, or continue to let that person bully you, because the schools aren't handling it. The parents aren't allowed to, because if so, we get dragged to court. So at what point do you finally let the kids defend themselves? Because that's what it's going to take. But you know what I'm saying? That's what it's going to take.
But I think that is...
And anybody with a brain knows that.
I think that's a big problem in what goes on with the youth mental health, you know, because they have the internet now. They have, and you know, not all school staff, not all teachers, most of them are fairly good, but they have the school systems now that are kind of wonky. They have the issue of, do I defend myself? Do I not defend myself? This person's telling me to do this. This person's telling me to do that. Their brains are not developed enough to comprehend all of that stuff right now.
Well, and that's something else too. You sit there and you think about it and you look into it and stuff. And I cannot. So the first time Braylon ever got suspended, because he's been suspended, he's been in alternative school more this year than he's been in regular school for fighting. I can't look at my child because I don't remember how exactly it happened, but the first fight he got into, this kid was playing, they were in elementary school. This kid was playing, doing something, I don't remember. But this other kid had been bullying this kid all year.
Mm-hmm.
Braylon had it. So finally, Braylon stood up for that kid.
For the kid that was being bullied.
Mm-hmm. And he got in trouble. And where are the teachers?
They're not allowed to say anything anymore.
Teachers care as much as therapists.
You know what?
That's why you got to dig for the ones that care.
When I was in school, when I was in grade school, I can remember now. I never got the paddling because I was a very.
Did you know they brought that back?
I was a good kid.
But did you know that?
No. But my teachers could pull you out in the hallway and paddle you with a wooden paddle.
See, they didn't have that. But I always got sat out in the. I had a teacher that would put a desk in the hallway.
That was the first thing that happened.
Yeah,
you got your desk put out there.
And I was like, how is that a punishment?
As a matter of fact, it was my 6th grade teacher that did the paddling. He's the one that they would always, like, if you needed a paddling, he was the 6th grade teacher. So he was the one that would come and paddle. So once you got in the 6th grade, then you got to go and sign his paddle. So all of his students.
Oh, gosh.
Names were on the paddle. I would have
probably been the one that he had to buy a new paddle over. So, in 17 states, corporal punishment, including paddling, is still legal in public schools.
It's not here.
Corporal punishment, paddling is defined as paddling, spanking, or other forms of physical punishment imposed on a child. I was trying to see. Kentucky's on there.
It really?
Yep.
Wait just a second. I'm not buying nothing.
And okay, so I also don't agree with if you spank your child or discipline your child with spanking, people that will say, oh, you're beating your kid. I mean, that's not beating.
No, and I get that not everybody's going to have, here, play that one. Not everybody's going to have the same
punishment style.
Yeah.
My gosh, I have 4 kids that had to be punished completely different.
But I agree with whipping. I think whipping should be, there's a difference between whipping and beating. There's a huge difference.
Yep.
Now, Jimmy, the grandbabies, you will not lay a hand on them in front of him. Like, they don't get whippings. They don't get whatever they want, they get. That's why I'm glad we didn't have young children together. I say that to him all the time, in all fairness. But anyway, guys, let us know what you think. And again, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So if you are struggling.
You still got 15 minutes unless you're ready to just go.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I'm tired.
But do not struggle alone. Do not try to go at it alone. We have posted several places that you can reach out to a professional for help.
Yes.
Rachel Blanford with Lemonade Mental Services.
Lemonade Mental Services.
Yes. And then T. Freeman with I've Got Fava.
I've Got Fava.
Both of those are really, really good. If you know of somebody else that you personally like, put it in the comments, put it on our page, let us know.
Yeah,
we will post them too.
Because I'm not giving out my doctor, but
they're not.
There are doctors that care, and you can usually get on any kind of review page and look up doctors and see their reviews, and that will help you find a doctor you feel like you'll mesh with instead of kind of wasting your time bouncing through therapists and stuff, because that's a headache, and that makes people not get help, or it makes them stop looking or seeking help because
and if you're not in the mental state of mind to reach out for help yourself, but you know that you need help, reach out to a friend and let them help guide you, or go through the hoops for you.
We open messages on our Facebook.
Yes.
If you feel like you can't reach out to somebody and you don't want to talk about it, but you want somebody to help, like give you some resources, send us a heart in our inbox. You don't have to tell us what it's for, what it's about, and we will send you some resources.
Absolutely.
And then that way you don't have to have a discussion, because I know what it's like to get to that point where
it's exhausting.
And mentally you're drained. So if you feel like you need help but you don't want to talk, send us a heart in our inbox. And don't forget that the mental health line is 988. The suicide hotline for anybody is 988. Reach out. This world is not a better place without you. So,
and like always, follow us on all of our social medias. We are on, of course, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
all the social medias.
YouTube is where you can catch our full podcast as well. iHeart, Spotify, Spreaker. So thanks for tuning in, guys.
Thank you.